In this tutorial, I'd like to show you how to take uncompressed files such as AIF or WAV files and use the ubiquitous iTunes that is installed on every Mac, and as well you can find it on many PCs. Use that program to convert those files from one format to another. So in this case we will be converting them into MP3 files so that they can be easily placed on the web and your audience can view them with either built-in players on their browsers or play them easily on their music players. So in order to do this, fire up iTunes, and as soon as it's open, before we add any files to it, what we want to do is we want to go to the iTunes menu and into Preferences. Now in Preferences, we are going to stay on this General tab, which is the first one that should open, and choose the button that says Import Settings. Now in Import Settings, what we're doing is we're changing our encoder, and the default encoder for iTunes is AAC, which isn't a bad thing to work with, but it is a little bit more difficult for some browsers to understand, and in our case it makes it easier for the students to play back in their Moodle shells. So when you make a selection, choose MP3 encoder. That's the destination format that we want. Now for setting, if you want to make sure that you maintain the highest quality settings, then go to higher quality. Do note that if you're comfortable with changing these and you're looking for something even a little bit better quality, we can choose variable bitrate encoders or higher bitrate settings. But if you're not sure what that means, then go ahead and just leave it at higher quality, 192 kilobits per second. Once that's set, click OK, and then click OK on the General Preferences to return back to the iTunes window. Now the next thing we need to do is add our files into iTunes, and I'm just going to do that by doing a big drag selection or a marquee selection and drag those into my iTunes window. Now iTunes will take a little bit of time to import them and copy them into the iTunes folder. So now the only thing that remains to convert these is to select them. So I'll click on one, shift click, and make sure that I have them all highlighted. And then I can control click or right click to create MP3 version. Now we only have this option available if we went through Preferences and changed our encoder to MP3. If you didn't do that step, it's going to say AAC, but notice that you can go, if you had MP3 versions, you could go to uncompressed or you could go to AAC. So that's one of the nice built-in features to iTunes, is that you can convert files however you need them to be. So I'll go ahead and click, and right away iTunes will start converting those, and you can see that I have now duplicates of these. So my next steps are to locate these files in the Finder so that I can upload those to wherever I need them to be. So to locate them, I'm going to go into my music folder on the Mac. On the PC it's going to be a little bit different, and the other thing you can do is you can choose these new files and right click to say Show in Finder. There it is. That's probably the easiest thing. That's probably the easiest way to locate them. If you're looking for the long way, you can go to your music folder, choose iTunes, iTunes Media, Music, and then locate the folder that they were placed into. Now I need to discern between the original uncompressed AIF files and my new MP3 files, so I'm going to go into List View, expand my window a bit, and then sort them by kind. And I can see that on the bottom half I have MP3 files. Above that are the original AIF files. So then I would take these and place them wherever I need them to be. So if you are using this for instruction, you would probably place them into your learning environment and relink them. The nice thing about this is that if you're placing them into something like Moodle, Moodle has a built-in MP3 player, so as soon as you link to that file from within Moodle, even if it's located externally on a server, Moodle will create a little player so that your students can play back and listen to those easily. I hope this has been helpful. If not, please contact me through the ATC at lanecc.edu, and ask for Ian.